The Mentoring Center, the Rites of Passage program, and the Roots Community Health Center are on the front lines doing critical work in Oakland, delivering health care, mentorship, and re-entry support to individuals and communities most affected by violence and systemic disinvestment. Through funding and collaboration with the National Institute for Criminal Justice Reform, these organizations are making communities safer by meeting people where they are and guiding them towards stability, growth, and healing. The Coalition to Advance Public Safety's investment in Oakland shows what's possible when cities invest in public safety solutions rooted in community. The lessons learned and partnerships built here in Oakland will offer a framework for how to expand and strengthen community violence intervention ecosystems across the country. Together, we are not only addressing violence today, we're laying the groundwork for a future where every neighborhood is safe and every community is thriving.
Oakland has some extraordinary organizations. Oakland has an incredible history of culture, of organizing, of resistance, of having community services, free breakfast programs, community day schools.
And so it's multiple layers of things that I think this work affords us the opportunity to be very intentional about how we connect the dots, right? Knowing that one organization, one individual ain't gonna do it all. It's gonna take that village.
And that is what Oakland CAPS is about, is let's all collaborate, let's communicate, let's coordinate so that we can have the best outcomes possible.
So the Mentoring Center is an organization here in Oakland, California, that is focused on serving young people through mentoring, through leadership development, through wellness initiatives, through a lot of different life coaching, a lot of different sort of vehicles to support young folks who are mostly systems impacted, right? So who have some involvement in the criminal juvenile legal system, who are in foster care, who are really struggling in school, who have other challenges that young folks often have. We help and guide young people to do their own transformation and engage in that way. You know, young people don't live in a vacuum by themselves. They live in families and communities and neighborhoods, and then they are engaged in or impacted by systems, right? And so I think as we support young people in their own transformation, I think it's important to address all of those. So we do engage families. We do engage systems. We do engage other organizations and other folks who have the opportunity or the responsibility of touching or supporting young people. The other, I think, really important impact for me is the fact that we're now part of a network. And so we really get the opportunity to see what other folks in the city are doing. And we have lots of relationships with lots of other organizations in the city. But being part of a CAPS allows us to come together and really learn from each other when we're, in some ways, working with the same young people. Over the last couple of years, this has really, really been supported by our engagement with CAPS and in ways that are critical to the work.
Nobody was born with a gun in their hand. Nobody was born with their fist balled up. Somewhere along the line, they learned these ways of living and surviving that may not be the best for them. My organization is called Positive Communication Practices. We have a program called Rites of Passage. Right now, it exists in the Juvenile Detention Center, Alameda, California. And we do group process. We go in with specific curriculum geared to breaking down like the male socialization barriers that a lot of young men acquire as they come into manhood.
A common thread that we find with these youth in the juvenile justice system is the lack of a black role model, or they had a role model that was the wrong role model. So no influence and or bad influence, right, builds our nature.
The place we offer gives them a space to be totally transparent, bring it all, man, because that's where the change comes. When you break down or you have an epiphany or some kind of situation where you're really opening up.
We come in and we get to see an individual not for the crimes that they committed, but we get to see this vulnerable little boy that's afraid of his own self, afraid of the community that he lives in, right? And so a lot of the behaviors is not necessarily what they want to do, it's kind of what they feel like they gotta do.
So we try to remove those barriers and get to the heart of the young men and have them express some things that they haven't really dealt with before.
It looks like first just getting someone to be able to express themselves so that they're not using behaviors to express their emotions.
We often hear this African proverb quoted, and we only hear a portion of it quoted. They say it takes a village to raise a child, right? The other side of that quote is, it says the young man, if he don't feel the warmth of a village, he's gonna burn the village down to feel its warmth. And so we got a lot of young people who are burning down the city because they don't feel the love, they don't feel the connections.
We love you and we want to support you, and we don't want to do it in a fake way. We're not romanticizing what you've been through. We're not going to absolve you of any guilt for what you've done. However, you do deserve the opportunity to do well and be well.
The reality of it is that they're not defined by their choices that they've made. They're defined by what they do next. They're defined by what they decide is still a part of their future, what they still want and are fighting to get access to.
The truth, though, is that self-awareness, integrity, excellence, accountability, all of those things are going to forward you in no matter what challenge that you make and go through. And that is what Rites of Passage is about.
We are here at Roots Community Health Center. I am a health navigator here with the DBP, that is the Department of Violence Prevention. I assist with housing, employment, helping them with financial literacy. A lot of the navigators sit and actually have conversations with the clients and really try to get down to the nitty-gritty to find out what their needs are. Sometimes they come in and they're not comfortable with just coming out and saying, hey, this is my problem. I don't know how, or I need to know how. Can you help me? It doesn't happen like that. It happens over time.
Just listening is a big part as well. Just listening to what they have to say, because a lot is built up inside. And a lot of people don't get to express their feelings. So my first thing is to gain trust. You know, everybody messes up, but everybody doesn't get a second chance. Not turning your back even when they mess up plays a very important role, to have that love for them, because you never know what they've been through as far as family or even friends, street stuff. Just having somebody to look up to somewhat, you know. So I got a couple of success stories that really touches me, and I get people that call me to this day thanking me. You know, that's everything to me. Just being able to help somebody change their life, that's everything.
I feel like the transformation with Roots being here, it's allowing participants or members to come in from off the streets, and they know that when they get in here, we can relate. I wanted to make an impact in my community with the people that look like me and look like my family and friends as well. Whatever we are able to do to give that person a success story, that's what's like the reward about the job.
The National Institute for Criminal Justice Reform is a nonprofit based in Oakland, California, working to reduce gun violence and transform justice systems across the country. Through community partnerships, capacity building grants, and training, we foster long-term public safety grounded in accountability and opportunity.
We were founded to do both justice reform and violence reduction work. And as we grow, we're trying to really merge those two. A lot of people see them as separate, distinct, if not even in conflict with one another. And so as we've evolved, we've also tried to increase awareness in community that we can have a better functioning criminal justice system. We could have a system that treats people better and engages people better and improve public safety. And so part of what Oakland CAPS is trying to do, the Oakland Coalition to Advance Public Safety, is say we want to focus our intervention, we want to focus our resources on that small number of young people and young adults who are at the very highest risk of gun violence. That type of what we call specificity and intensity is rare in community services. And that is what this Coalition to Advance Public Safety is working on in the city of Oakland, so that we can focus our intervention efforts on those most likely to be involved in gun violence and help them make better decisions and help them stay safe as well as free.